Good morning, everyone. I'm AISHAH and I'm from 6BK5. In today's speech, I would like to talk about education-related issues around the world. Today's education remains an inaccessible right for millions of children around the world. More than 72 million children of primary education age are not in school, and 759 million adults are illiterate and do not have the awareness necessary to improve both their living conditions and those of their children. For many children who still do not have access to education, it is notable because of persisting inequality and marginalization. In developing and developed countries alike, children do not have access to basic education because of inequalities that originate in sex, health, and cultural identity. These children end themselves on the margins of the education system and do not benefit from learning that is vital to their intellectual and social development. Factors linked to poverty such as unemployment, illness, and the illiteracy of parents multiply the risk of non-schooling and the dropout rate of a child by 2. Undeniably, many children from disadvantaged backgrounds are forced to abandon their education due to the health problem related to malnutrition or in order to work and provide support for the family. Universal primary education is a major issue and accessible problem for many states. Many emerging countries do not appropriate the financial resources necessary to create schools, provide schooling materials, nor recruit and train teachers. Funds pledged by the international community are generally not sufficient enough to allow countries to establish an education system for all children. Equally, a lack of financial resources has an effect on the quality of teaching. Teachers do not benefit from basic teacher training, and schools, or which there are not enough, have oversized classes. As a result of poverty and marginalization, more than 72 million children around the world remain unschooled. Sub-Saharan Africa is the most affected area, with over 32 million children of primary school age remaining uneducated. Central and Eastern Asia as well as the Pacific are also severely affected by this problem, with more than 27 million uneducated children. Additionally, these regions must also solve continuing problem of educational poverty, which is a child in education for less than 4 years, and extreme educational poverty, a child in education for less than 2 years. Essentially, this concerns Sub-Saharan Africa, where more than half of children receive an education for less than 4 years. In certain countries such as Somalia and Burkina Faso, more than 50% of children receive an education for a period less than 2 years. The lack of schooling and poor education have negative effects on the population and country. The children leave school without having acquired the basics, which greatly impedes the social and economic development of these countries. Today, it is girls who have the least access to education. They make up more than 54% of the non-schooled population in the world. This problem occurs most frequently in the Arab states, East Central Asia, and in Southern and Western Asia, and it is principally explained by the cultural and traditional privileged treatment given to males. Girls are destined to work in the family home, whereas boys entitled to receive an education. In Sub-Saharan Africa, over 12 million girls are at risk of never receiving an education. In Yemen, it is more than 80% of girls who will never have opportunity to go to school. Even more alarming, certain countries such as Afghanistan and Somalia make no effort to reduce the gap between girls and boys with regard to education. Although many developing countries may congratulate themselves on dramatically reducing inequality between girls and boys in education, a lot of effort is still needed in order to achieve a universal primary education. That's all from me. Thanks for watching.